2025 UCI Cycling World Championships, talking favorites for the elite men's race this coming Sunday. A course that includes 267 kilometers, 6,000 meters of climbing, and it's going to be an all-out battle fought here on the streets in Kigali, the capital of Rwanda. The first time the UCI is hosting its World Championships in Africa. Now I want to get to whether or not Tadej Pogačar era is over. We spoke about that yesterday, and I want to speak about that some more at the end of this. So stick with me. We'll get to that and my thoughts on that. Let's go over some of the favorites that we have for Sunday's course. Let's talk about the course as well and how you can watch it. If you're in the United States and Canada, make sure you're tuned in on FloBikes. We'll have the race live and on demand this coming Sunday, and also all the events leading up to it. The juniors, the under 23 races, the women's race on Saturday, and of course the elite men's race on Sunday. The course, well, it's a long one, 267 kilometers. We got the 9 circuits that include each time the hard climbs here at the finish. We got a break where we go up Mount Kigali, a break. And then we have the 6 closing circuits, again, including the same hard climbs you would have seen if you've been tuning in for the time trials. And that's this kicker in the golf course. And then the final climb, the cobbled one, up to the finish line. Try to pronounce it with me, the Kimihurura. I've had some practice with that. The course itself is hard. The conditions are hard as well. We've heard riders in the time trial talking about that, trying to find their legs, and they didn't have them on the day, and they're trying to pinpoint it. And a lot of riders were talking about the conditions here. Of course, we're racing at altitude, 1,500 meters, and a lot of riders, including Remco Evenepoel, will have prepared at altitude to be ready for this. Another factor, in addition to the slight heat, it's pretty dry, not too humid, I don't believe, but we have air quality is a big issue here, and every morning I check my air quality index to have a look, and I tell you, it's like 70 on a good day and goes up to 150 when it's really bad in the mornings. And you can, in addition to the altitude, you can kind of feel the air quality is not great, and at some levels almost a bit unhealthy to be out there. But I've been checking it, and we're usually good to go here when the races are happening. And I've been noticing the altitude and the air quality when I'm out on my runs. Got out on a run this morning. You could check it out on Strava. Beautiful out here, but really the air quality, the altitude, you can feel it on your body. But another factor is the warm smiles of the host country and the locals here, the Rwandans, who are always waving, smiling, and happy to see the bike race. Everyone here calls it the UCI. Are you here for the UCI? It's how it's known here, but it's the World Championships, and what's on the line, in addition to the gold medal, is the rainbow jersey the winner will wear all year. And last year was Tadej Pogačar in Zurich, who took the win. So the favorites for the day, well, I want to talk about the Americans first. The USA is bringing in hot Quinn Simmons. We saw him on the attack all the time in the Tour de France. He'll be supported and maybe perhaps co-teammate by Kevin Vermarke, who was up there last year. We saw him with Tadej Pogačar. Those two Americans will be fighting for USA's chance. Canadians, we would have hoped that Derek G was going to show up here, especially after his contract difficulties with his current team. He's hoping to get out of that team. But Derek G, unfortunately, will not be here in Rwanda. I did go past the Team Canada house the other day, and I was hoping to catch a glimpse of G and showing up here in Kigali to give us a real good shot at a medal. No Derek G. We're looking over to the French contenders. Well, you can't count out Julian Alaphilippe, who won there, what was it, in Montreal last week. Julian Alaphilippe, of course, knows how to win a World Championships, and he'll be here with support of riders that include Pavel Sivakov, and with a real shot, despite being a little bit older than the rest of the competitors, but has that experience. A rider who's lining up, I think, for his first World Championships, at least that's what he told me. Egan Bernal told me that as well. We'll be having an Egan Bernal interview coming up for all the Colombian fans. Juan Ayuso, controversial figure there at the Vuelta a España, not seemingly working for what turned out to be the team leader for the GC. João Almeida went on to finish second place overall behind Jonas Vingegaard. Juan Ayuso will be lining up. Hot favorite? Let me know down in the comments who you think could win this World Championships outright. Just drop down in the comments right there. Does Juan Ayuso have a chance? His pedigree in one-day races, yeah, not great. But they'll be looking here to make a difference. And Juan Ayuso is going to be soaking up the atmosphere. Team Spain, always an important team when we come to the World Championships. One big team that's always important is, of course, Great Britain and Australia. We're going to get to these two teams. Great Britain, well, they're fielding Oscar Onley. Remember his breakout ride at the Tour de France? That was impressive. Riding for the team DSN. He'll be representing in the coming years. I should go back and circle back to Juan Ayuso, who's leaving UAE Emirates, which added to the drama at the Vuelta a España, and is going to Lidl-Trek for 2026. Oscar Onley staying in Casa DSM for 2026. Made a big impression at the Tour de France. But he'll be supporting, he's got to be supporting top dog, at least we're talking about Great Britain, for one-day races, Tom Pidcock, who's coming off a great third place overall in the Vuelta a España. Q36.5 rider here representing Great Britain. Now, I mentioned Australia. Ben O'Connor last year with a medal. Now, who of you would have picked Ben O'Connor? Aussie fans out there, drop down in the comments, had you picked him before Zurich? He's back again. Back again with Jay Vine, who we saw in the medals there in the time trial. Those guys, well, Team Australia always have a strong team, and look to those two guys to really make the difference in the final. Then we're looking down some other names, and there's Giulio Ciccone as the top favorite as we're looking at Team Italy, but Ciccone, I don't see him having a shot here on this course. It is a climber's course, 6,000 meters of climbing, but his one-day race pedigree, Isaac Del Toro coming off a hot spree of race wins in Italy's one-day races, coming here to the time trial, didn't do too bad, right there behind Tadej Pogačar in fourth place, collecting fifth for himself, and then afterwards having a little word with his trade teammate Tadej on the finish line. Jay Vine is also a teammate. They're all part of Casa UAE. Isaac Del Toro, we love him, especially in the Giro d'Italia, fighting all the way through to try to win the pink jersey. Just at the end, Simon Yates got the experience and got the victory over Isaac Del Toro, and it was a bit of a payback after falling short to Chris Froome a few years ago. Isaac Del Toro is just growing every year in experience, and we love hearing from our Mexican audience out there. So if you're a supporter of Isaac Del Toro, drop down in the comments. Let us know. Are you going to be cheering on Isaac for Sunday? I will be. In addition to him, the top three, well, who do you look out for? Pidcock, Isaac Del Toro. Another two names I want to drop, and of course you know these names, are the big names coming in to the UCI 2025 Road Cycling World Championships, live and on demand for our viewers in the United States and Canada. Remco Evenepoel, and I'm going to get to Tadej Pogačar because, did I say the Tadej Pogačar era is done? Remco Evenepoel seemed to have found the secret sauce that maybe he was missing throughout the 2025 season. Found it, came to the time trial, won his third World Championship time trial gold medal in a row, winning streak, and added to the Olympic gold medals that he picked up last year in Paris road race time trial there with the Eiffel Tower right behind him. Now, how cool is that? Here, well, he's going to have a whole bunch of local Kigalis cheering him on. Across the street, there's the Java House where I've been getting my flat whites every day. And let me tell you, the Rwandan coffee is off the charts down here. Super delicious. Remco Evenepoel supported by a strong team. Belgium always gets around its riders, and Remco Evenepoel, of course, with the experience, remembers his escape solo a few years ago when we were racing in Australia. He knows how to do. He has the motivation and the morale coming off the time trial victory, and Belgium is going to be circling its wagons around him. We're going to get over to Casa, Belgium, in a few days. On Friday, we're going to hear from him in the press conference. We've got Tadej's press conference coming up on Thursday. Belgium, well, they're staying at the Sheraton 4 Points. Slovenia, they're staying at the Hotel Delight, which was only, I looked on Google, only ranked 3.7 for our four-time Tour de France champion, Tadej Pogačar. 3.7, I really never do anything below 4 point. So Tadej, what's going on? Who booked your hotels? Casa Delight or Hotel Delight? I hope it's a delight come Sunday for you, Tadej. Just a block over was the Hotel Victory. Maybe they should have booked there. Remco Evenepoel is going to be well supportive. He's going to pick up this double gold medal as he did in Paris at the Olympics. Could he do it here for the first time in the World Championships for him to pick up the double gold medal? And his number one competitor, you know it, and he's going to be backed by Primož Roglič coming in here. Well, maybe Primož Roglič will go off script and do something for himself, as we saw a lot of the times in the Tour de France when he was there riding for Florian Lipowitz. Primož Roglič has the potential to pick up a gold medal, but all the attention, all of the media, everyone's focused on Hotel Delight and Tadej Pogačar. Tadej, I mentioned perhaps this is the end of the era. Perhaps we saw Tadej get his head kicked in. Well, yes, that's a possibility. But the reality is Tadej's yeah, he's still the top dog. It was just something we don't see very often from Tadej, being demoralized like we saw that the other day in the time trial, losing time over the time checks in what was a climber's course. And I think what we also heard from Demi Vollering is that the atmosphere here, of course these riders are used to getting prepared for altitude, but the atmosphere, the conditions, and the air quality, all that play in when we're coming into a time trial. In a road race, well, the riders will have more kilometers to get into it. It's not racing from the gun full out. We're going to have the first 170 kilometers, pretty tranquilo, pretty low-key, pretty steady eddy. We're going to see the escape form. These are pretty short circuits all in all. At least the first 9 are longer, and then we go over the Mount Kigali and we have the final 6, and they're pretty short circuits. I don't think short like we had way back in the day in Geelong when Thor Hushoff, the Viking, won, when the main peloton almost caught the escape on the closing circuits. That's when we had this point-to-point start as well. It's going to be a factor. They got the climb in the golf course. They have the Kimihurura climb, the cobble climb that was going to make a big difference. We saw that the other day when Remco Evenepoel caught and passed Tadej Pogačar, which was like a uh-oh moment for all cycling fans and Tadej Pogačar fans, which I'm one, and I don't think the air is over, but it is interesting to watch what's going on. Is Tadej going to rebound and find his legs? He's out there training, doing his thing with Team Slovenia, also with the women's team, Team Slovenia, including Urska, his partner. They're out there training on the roads. They're enjoying the scenery, riding with the locals. But come Sunday, it's crunch time with Tadej. It's the strong Slovenian team, several riders that he's raced with over the years that are all going to circle around Tadej Pogačar. Remember last year, Tratnik was up in the escape. Kind of depends upon how Slovenia play this on Sunday. But Tadej Pogačar, all eyes are going to be on him as the gold medaling defending champion from Zurich, out there to team up with Primož. How are they going to play it? We're watching. Slovenian media is here too. I'm in contact with them every day. And we're planning to head over to Tadej's press conference on Thursday to hear from him how he's recovered from the time trial on Sunday and get a little intel, little insight to how things may go in the road race on Sunday. We got a tough course. We have a list of tough, top elite competitors facing up for the 2025 UCI Cycling World Championships. Perhaps we missed the Van Aert from Team Belgium. Perhaps we missed the Mathieu van der Poel dominating in Glasgow, world champion from Team Netherlands. But we have a strong list of riders here, all the way from our U.S. riders, from Marquez, Quinn Simmons, up to number 1 top dog, Tadej Pogačar. We're going to find on Sunday, Tadej. Total delight. Are you coming in to give us a delight? Double world champion, picking up 2 gold medals to add to his, was it 3? No, 4 Tour de France titles. Tadej Pogačar on test this Sunday at the 2025 Cycling World Championships.